fingers crossed weather will stay okay for you and you will get the game going ahead. But I just want to reflect first of all back of where we are at the moment. 6 unbeaten, but 15 draws as well. But you're well clear at the moment of the team that's second from bottom of the table. Just your own view of how it's been going in the turn of the new year, really, where this sort of unbeaten run has come for.
Well, yeah, I think it's an unbeaten run, but I'm sure everyone would like it to be better by winning more games of football. I'm sure it's been mentioned. We keep talking about it. We keep needing to improve. Looking at game management, maybe keeping it up the pitch, making more passes in the final third, not trying to score another goal all the time, and being able to see games out better.
You're quite right in putting out there that you haven't won enough games. What positives can you take if you look at it from January? It's just 2 defeats in those 12 games. So what positives are you taking out of each game going into your next games?
The positives, as everyone can see, is most of the time we're in the lead, and once you're in the lead, it should be easier to maintain the lead rather than trying to break a team with everyone behind the ball down. Normally you get 1 or 2 more chances, and we have to be a bit more clinical, which we've had at times. I think we could have went 2 up with Sean far post. Probably had a chance when it looked, but should still be in a goal, and then that's really game over, and you do see the game out. And then there's been a couple of sending offs, and the sending offs, if it's people with the mouth and shouting and saying something to the ref, and they've been just honest lads making poor decisions. So we just need to get better at that, making sure that we don't get people booked and get people sent off, staying with 11 men. And I said game management and looking forward and trying to keep improving.
I suppose it's a $64 million question of what do you think it is that happens towards the end of the games? Have you got any ideas? Is it mentality that once they reach a stage of the game, players start going a little bit in the shell, or do you think it could be something to do with fitness? I
think it's got something to do with all those things you've just said. I think the mentality, getting used to winning games, getting momentum, and building on each week by winning, and seeing games out, and keeping people on the pitch, and keeping the ball better, and buying free kicks, and again, there's a lot of things. All we can do is keep talking about it, working on, and keep trying to improve, and keep the run going, and hopefully seeing games out and end up winning more games.
You touched on it briefly there, the red card that Rod got, obviously it was a mistimed challenge for him, and there was no qualms about, the red card was shown, but that's 5 red cards. It's not a football club that's usually linked to getting the red cards. What can you do about that? What do you try to do as a management team to get it over to the players that, it's not acceptable really?
Well, we have to be disciplined off the pitch, which we are. We've got things in place to make sure that's right, and we have to take it on the pitch. And again, there's been a few decisions which you're thinking, is that really a yellow card? But again, the red cards, there's been 1 or 2 ill discipline, and then there's been some who make wrong choices, such as Connor's and Rod's, and that's where Connor is, and making a better choice, and Rodney knows he held his hands up, and he knows he made a wrong choice. And these are honest players who are trying the right things and trying the best for the football club, and need to get better at making the better choices.
Talking about an honest player, let's put a bit of a spotlight on Dan Ajayi, who got his 10th goal of the season. He started in every game in the league this season as well, and his recognition has been shown that he's been shortlisted for the February Player of the Month in League 2.
Yeah, I can't speak highly enough of Dan. He's been training every day, played every minute of the game, and probably having his best season that he's had for some time, if not his best season. He scored all different types of goals, and again, he's put in the work, and all that work is showing off. He's someone you can rely on, and obviously over the year he's been one of our most consistent players.
Is he that type of professional that you want to have at the club? Because not has he just played one position, he's played 2, 3 or 4 positions for you as well, and still produced the goods.
Oh yeah, he's been brilliant. Where you ask Dan to play, he'll get on with it and do it to the best of his ability. He's a match winner. get the ball and win a game by himself, and also he's clinical when he gets a chance. We'd like to create more chances and as a team and give him more chances to have, but we haven't been creating as many chances as we would like, but when he gets them, you'll see that he takes them.
Last weekend you allowed 2 of your players to move out and have some games out on loan in Billy Sass-Davis and Charlie Finney. Is that something that you'll look at? I know they can only go to certain areas because of the window being shut. Is that something that you're looking at? Other players might get opportunities?
Yeah, well, them 2 players you spoke of, they're in different situations. Charlie's come back from injury. He's having a good season where he's been involved probably 10, 11 times for the first team, and maybe 10, 11 times more than what he probably thought. So he's come back, and we think it's good for him to go and play men's football instead of 23 football, and hopefully come back and go in team and have competition with, whether it's Rio, whether it's further up the pitch, whether it's left back or anywhere else on the pitch. We think it's good for him to go out and get some game time rather than maybe be on our bench and come and play a couple of minutes here, a couple of minutes there. So he's going to go for a month, and we'll see where he is at the end of the month, and hopefully he's done well enough to come back and have some competition here. And then on the other hand, Billy's been fine. He came back in maybe a touch too early. The last game he came in, I think he'd only trained a couple of days, and it was hard for him. But we know Billy has done well enough at this level. At the moment, we've got good competition at centre halves. They've all being good, and we felt that he needed some game time for himself. And to be honest with you, for both of them and for the football club, looking to the future, it can only benefit.
And you've been part of the management team now for a few years under the previous managerial regime and this particular one to the current day. You know how football works, it's non-stop, 24/7. Is it a time, again, that you're looking towards next season already, or little things that are developing with the management?
Well, where I am in my role, we have to forward think on developing the players and helping the players to get in the team and making sure once they're in the team they're reliable and consistently doing well, and that's where we want to get them to. So there's looking further ahead, but also looking at present, and where we go from developing players and sending players out on loan to, listen, there's a game to win on Friday night, and as you said, we've been drawing a lot of games and we need to improve and we need to start winning games of football, and that's what our focus is on right at the moment in time.
Yeah, that is the immediate focus. Friday night, fingers crossed, weather permitting. Salford come, they're just starting to put a little run together. They've got a bit of inconsistency in their results. What's the SP on there? What are you expecting?
One of the better footballing sides to watch in the league. I think them and Leighton Orient, I'm sure the possession stats would say they're one of the highest ones, and we went there and played them, and before the sending off, it was a really good game of football, and we had chances at both ends, and there was nothing in it. And we unfortunately had Bass sent off, and they went and won quite comfortably. So again, we're expecting a good football game, and hopefully we can more than match them and let them come to our place. And everyone at the moment knows we're a hard team to beat, but we need to turn things around and start winning games.
Do you feel there's more riding on it when you being the home team because of the way results have gone? You've got more actual away games left than you have at home, so is there a bit more added pressure to try and get that result? Because I think after that you're going to have three or four games, away from home pretty close together. Yeah,
well, we want to win every game, and the home game and away games are just as important. I'm sure we've only lost four away games, but we need to do better at home. You want to win your home games. Obviously, coming to someone's home place should be more difficult than us playing away. So we have fans behind us. We have more supporters come to watch. But both sets of supporters, home and away, have been brilliant this year. But we need to give them something to shout about and scream at, and make them keep coming. And looking forward to watching the team play.
Just wrapping it up with Salford. Yeah, they've changed the manager quite a lot of times over the last few years, trying to get out of League Two. But you're not surprised to see them in the mix this time?
No, they're always thereabouts. They're always near the playoffs, and again, there's not much between most of the teams in the league. You look at our results and you look at playing teams who are below us, and there's been a lot of draws, and teams such as Bradford and Carlisle, there's been draws. So I went to watch a couple of weeks ago, Tranmere against Leyton Orient, and the games don't look much different to what everyone sees every Saturday. So there's not much in it. There's teams with big squads, more match winners, such as the Leyton Orients, that help. But once we've got all our players fit, which is not far off, we've got match winners and people who can score goals and people who can hit teams, and once we do that, we'll compete with anyone.
Just finally, some recognition for a couple of players in your setup. I know one of them is not your own player, he's a Brentford player, but Lachlan Brooks got selected for the Australian under-21s, I think it is, or under-23s, and Max Woodcock's been selected for the Scottish under-18s, so that's nice for them individually and nice for the football club as well. Yeah,
it's nice for them as individuals, and it just shows the good players. Obviously, they're in different places. Lachlan's a Brentford player on loan to ourselves, and has done well when he's got an opportunity, and we've changed shape a little bit, and there's sometimes when he could have done better himself if you asked him, and there's times when it's because of certain games that he hasn't been picked. So on the other hand, there's Max, who needs to keep doing what he's doing and keep improving and see where he ends up. But it's always nice to get an international call up for whatever the age is.